Good morning! Welcome back to another toy review with me, Philip here, and today we're gonna take a look at Kamen Rider Zeztz. So, finally we have a Kamen Rider Zeztz toy review on this channel, and actually it's been a long time since I got myself an actual action figure. So, this is specifically the Capsem Change Collection Kamen Rider Zeztz. Oh, sorry. There you go. So this is the Physicam Form, but it comes with different accessories as you can see in the packaging here. So it's interesting that they package this in a blister type form. Uh, so actually here on the back you can see uh, the different forms. So Physicam Transform. So this is this one right here. So with the red arms, one with the stretchy one and the red legs. Physicam Wing Form, when you put the wing parts on this thing. And of course, you can also just enjoy this as the good old Physicam Form with also the Zeztz, what do you call this again? So the weapon, anyways. Uh, so anyways, it does have the weapon right here. So in sword mode, yeah. So anyways, so let's open up this bad boy right here because I can't wait to review right now. So I got my trusty pair of scissors right here, and it's actually kind of tough. Okay, we're getting there. There we go. And yeah. Okay. Right. There we go. So now we got this bad boy open, and I still have to open up the top. There. We're getting close, we're getting close. It's really rare that we do an actual unboxing on this channel lately. Like, I've already pre-opened most of my stuff before the actual review. There we go, now that we got the packaging actually open. So let's take the figure right out. And what the heck? There are still some tape. There's still some tape on the sides. There we go. Actually taking this off. So there's still packaging inside, and we have to take it off like so. And there you go. Alright, so there you have it. Nice. So this is Kamen Rider Zeztz Physicam Form. So let's check out the articulation on this guy right here. So as you can see, the head moves. Now, I do believe it's on a ball joint, so it can turn the head around 360 degrees, so no problem there. However, like the tilting up and down seems a little bit limited because the head actually goes all the back. It's a nice sculpt, but it does hinder like movement a little bit. So the torso is just in one piece, but it's on a ball joint that allows it to turn 360 and actually allows for some abdominal movement, you know, some sort of like an ab crunch. And as for the shoulders, so they go 390 degrees up. So interesting joints. And they also have like a swiveling function, so you can move the joints to the front, which is really nice. So you can get more dynamic movements out of this one. So of course, because there aren't any big armor pieces in the way, you can definitely move this one 360 all around like so. There are like joints on the upper arms just below the shoulders for this roll around like so. And there's also another one in the elbow. Of course, you can bend the elbow, and you can also turn around the elbow separately. Actually, it's the forearm. So I I see it now, because the four arms are removable for the gimmick later. There you go. So you can also turn around, so there's an additional movement right there. So the hands, so they are also on somewhat of a ball joint. Actually, the ball is there just to keep it in place, but it doesn't really move the hand much like this. But you can turn it around 360 like so. Of course, the hands are replaceable. I'll show you later. And let's move on to the legs. So there is a bit of a split, kind of, I guess, depending on how you move. So there are no, I noticed right now that there are some pegs at the back of the legs. I might cut them off with hobby nippers later. But if you don't mind, then you can keep those on there. But the legs can move forward like so. Knees bend more than 90 degrees. And again, feet are also on a ball joint. So I believe it is also removable. Yep. This is for the gimmick later. And I have difficulty putting the ball joint back in. There we go. So it is very, very movable for its size. Now, there is a different, there is another action figure for Kamen Rider Zeztz, which is like a more dedicated, like, figure, if you can say. So, so as you could see, this is quite small. So let me compare a couple of toys right here. So as you can see, I have here my Tyranno Ranger action hero. Of course, along with this is from the Gojuger line. Actually, look at this guy. It is half the size, more or less. It is significantly smaller, as you can see here. And in fact, it is more or less the same size as this Sodo Kamen Rider Valen right here. So, what is interesting though, again, for its size, it is surprisingly like very movable. Again, this is like an action figure, not a candy toy. So, as you would notice, actually, like, Valen seems a bit taller here, but more or less this is actually the same size as a Sodo figure. But considering the articulation, in the paint job, the quality is definitely much better. And again, considering the gimmicks that I will show later. So let's get some of the accessories first. Now, for the hands, as you can see here, we have like open hands. I'm gonna take the right hand off. So, and get one of the, so get this right hand part that hopefully you can see on camera. So attach it to the joint right here. Okay. There we go. And now you can attach the weapon into the hand like so. And it has like a really good grip. There you go. It looks really, really nice. Again, just this figure by itself, you can do a lot of dynamic action poses, surprisingly. So, I'm really speechless, considering, again, how much you can do with such a small figure. So, there we go. Pose it a little bit. Using the hands, like, it is a bit more dynamic like this. And of course you have like fist parts as well, so it is quite difficult. I'm just gonna drop them all off the packaging. So yes, you have some fists as well. So again, the accessories and contents of this toy are actually quite impressive, again, for this kind of size. So that's actually it for now. So now let's move on to the actual gimmick of this figure. Let's change forms. So what I'm gonna do is take off the entire right forearm as I've shown earlier. Again, the forearm comes right off. So I'm gonna do it with the hands as well. So there we go. It is actually surprisingly tough. So I have taken out both arms, and you can see they're just nubs. And I will also remove the feet first. And, well, I have removed the entire left leg. So there we go. And remove the left foot from the left leg. So I'm gonna go right. And then I am going to attach, okay, so I'm gonna attach these parts onto the figure as such. Now, the elbow joints are kind of movy, or like they move around a lot. So this stretchy arm also goes in. Okay. So you can see like that. And as for the legs, actually, I am going to attach the feet onto the ball joint first, as you might see here. And let's do it like this, shall we? There we go. Much easier like if you do it from the top. And I'm gonna do the same with the right leg. So, yep. There we go. Snaps into place really nicely. And again, nice. It's getting in easy. There we go. So this is Zeztz. Yeah, forgive me for not posing very well. There we go. So this is the transform. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see with this right arm, this has Zeztz has the ability to manipulate his body parts and basically like stretch. This is kind of reminiscent of Kamen Rider Double's Luna form, or at least the Luna memory, which offers the same ability. So there you go. So what I'm gonna do next, actually, like, I'm gonna keep the transform and put like the wing parts onto the back. So there's like a phone notification. So anyways, so there you go. So these are the wings. These are the pegs that you attach onto the back like so. Right? Very, very simple. And I noticed that the wings kind of have some sort of joints that allow them to flap, which is really, really awesome. So, yep, the wings can flap thanks to another joint in there. Really, really amazing. Again, now I'm pretty sure that if this were in show, this would actually be inaccurate. So there would probably be like a different capsem that allows for this transform and the wing form. Kind of like Gav's Gochizo. So of course, he transforms using the popping gumi for his default form, and then uses like the punching gumi or the kicking gumi to augment the popping gumi even further. I think Zeztz would have probably a similar function like that. So by using separate capsems to allow this kind of ability, and a different capsem to, again, to allow this other ability. But as a figure, as a toy, then this becomes highly, highly possible. Now, I think the only caveat or drawback, if you would call it that way, So for the arms of the transform, so they're stuck in fists, and you cannot equip the weapon, or there are no other hand parts that you can use with this one. But for what it is, actually, like visually, I think I might keep the red legs just because I like the color better than the default green. Again, it's just my personal preference, but it does work much better in my opinion. But yeah. So Kamen Rider Zeztz. So this is, again, our gimmick toy for this season. So compared to the other Kamen Rider Zeztz figure out there that is the actual action figure, I'm not talking about the figure arts, actually, but there is, again, a separate action figure, which is actually bigger and would be more or less close to the size of this Tyranno Ranger figure, again, in terms of like actual size. Like I've seen it, it does come with like hand parts and the weapon as well, but in terms of like gimmicks and accessories, I think this guy is much better. So comparing the price as well, so I got this for 2,200 yen basically, and the other figure is actually a bit more expensive at 3,000 yen, but considering the articulation of that one, it would be closer to a figure arts. It's a cheaper version, but again, for this quality, this is a proper action figure in and of itself, and you can, again, do something like this, give it an original form. Honestly, this looks really, really nice in my opinion. Like the red just goes well better with this green accent. Yeah. I do like it. I do like it. So there you go. What do you think of Kamen Rider Zeztz Capsem Change Collection figure? I would say I'm gonna give this one a 4.5 out of 5. Probably if they included more hand parts that, again, allow for gripping this one, I think would be much more appreciated. But overall, yeah, I think this is still much better than the other Zeztz figure. But if you want like the bigger size and basically near figure arts like posability, go for that one. Or if you really want costume accurate like Zeztz, then you could actually go for the SH figure arts, and I think it is also like a worthy addition if you are into figure arts. But again, this, if you want a more affordable option with more gimmicks to it and accessories, I would recommend this one more. So yeah, so that's it for my review of Kamen Rider Zeztz Capsem Change Collection figure. So what do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching. Please do leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you in the next review. Good luck.